Hi everyone, William Ha from Elite Gen Magazine. This week we're driving the 2024 Porsche 718 Boxster Style Edition. So you've seen some of the pictures. It's a really unique color. It's called Ruby Star Neo, and it's been really popular within the Porsche fan community. So it certainly looks very different. The white wheels go really well. I joke that it's the Barbie car, and Hello Kitty would really love it. But we're having a lot of fun with this vehicle. You got the convertible, so it's perfect for summer. And I want to start with talking about performance because this is what this vehicle is really all about. It drives phenomenal. So one of the reasons why it drives so phenomenal is the fact that it's got really tight steering. It's really responsive. And what's good too is that there's a lot of road feel. So most modern electric power steering systems, they kind of isolate the steering feel, and it makes for a less satisfying driving experience when we talk about sports cars, because the reason why you want good driving feel is it gives you a sense for how much grip the tires have, and that's something that's really valuable to people who like driving. So excellent steering feel, very reactive. The other reason why it handles so well and drives so well is because of the fact that it's a mid-engine vehicle. So the engine's behind me, and having it in the middle really balances out its center of gravity. So you have a near 50-50 weight distribution, and that's going to contribute to its stability when you're taking hard corners. And this vehicle, you can confidently throw them around the corners, and you never feel like you're going to lose control of the vehicle. That's how great it is. The third thing is that I love this, the manual transmission. So the clutch is really easy to use. The clutch pedal is a little bit heavy and the gas pedal is a little bit heavy too, but that's actually a good thing because it allows you to get a good feel for the engagement, and it allows you to modulate the gas and the clutch. So not only are they nicely weighted, but the pedal positions are really good too. And the shifter is fantastic. It's very notchy, it's very precise, and it's a lot of fun, especially with the great handling and the power. And there's more than enough power in this engine. It's got 280 pound-feet of torque, and it can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers in just 5.1 seconds. So that's certainly not bad numbers whatsoever. And a lot of the torque is down low. So as soon as you engage that clutch, you're going to have that acceleration right away. It doesn't really pull much more once you get into higher rev range. The more powerful and larger Porsche engines provide more pull when you're at the upper ranges, but if you're driving this vehicle around town, just having the torque down low is actually more useful. So phenomenal performance, 10 out of 10. You'd be very pleased if you got to drive this vehicle. So this is how the vehicle looks at night. You've got LED license plate lights, LED tail lights, and if we go around the front, you've got marker lights here, and these marker lights also flash when you flip on the turn signal. You got some bright LED lights that are adaptive, and the lower bumper light here is sort of like a fog light, but when you flip on your turn signals, it flashes amber. So very nice lighting. Let's talk about the interior. So because of the fact that this vehicle is not all new, this design is a couple of years old, and for one, you don't have a full digital instrument cluster. You have 3 pods here, so 2 of them are analog gauges. One of them is your digital cluster, so you can call up a map or you can go into some of your settings. But overall, it's nicely laid out. All the buttons are within easy reach. All the buttons and switches feel really high quality. The only thing is that you don't have a lot of storage space in the center console here. So you have this small little storage compartment. There's a light, and funny enough, there's a cigarette lighter. And you can put coins and little things in there. If you open up the armrests, there's some storage here, but it's really shallow, so you can really only put your phone, maybe a pack of gum, or your sunglasses. And then there's a USB-A port. Now, thankfully, the door handles have 2 compartments that are pretty spacious, so you can use these. And the glove box is very spacious too, surprisingly. So, if you have bigger things, you can stick it in there, no problem. There's also a USB-A port in there, and then there's a little storage net near the passenger floor. And then the cup holders are very flimsy. They're not very good to use, especially if you have like a tall cup, but it's better than not having cup holders. So overall, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. The good thing is that the seats are really, really comfortable. Your driving position is excellent. The seat is height adjustable, so even if you're a little bit taller, headspace is not an issue. And visibility is good, except for if you want to check the blind spot on the passenger side, because of the fact that it's a mid-engine, the firewall is a little bit higher. So as long as you have the blind spot monitoring, I don't know off the top of my head whether it's standard or not, but if it's not standard, it's a worthwhile option to add. It just gives you extra peace of mind. So overall, interior is really comfortable. Buttons all within easy reach, and then the drive mode is right on the steering wheel too for easy access. All right, let's step inside. So when you open the doors, you're greeted by a lighted Boxster script there. This is an extra cost option, but it's well worth it. Makes the vehicle feel more special. And because this model is a couple years old, you still have analog gauges. It's not a completely digital cluster, but it gives you the right information that you need. This is part of the chronograph package, so there's a clock and there's a stopwatch. And this is a center touch screen, so it's pretty snappy, it's pretty easy to use. There's navigation and a CD player as well for some of the old school people. Manual transmission, and you have LED lights everywhere, which is nice. Even your vanity mirror has LED lights, which is a nice touch. This is the glove box. It's pretty spacious. Again, you have LED lights inside. So the Style Edition has front sensors, which is useful when you're parking. And when you're in reverse, there's also dynamic guidelines, which is also helpful. The resolution is okay for the rear camera. And I like that there's a power spoiler. For whatever reason, I've always liked this feature on cars. And they're hidden sensors. You just put your hand there and boom, the front opens just like that. And the space is not that big. It's 150 liters, but it's deep. And I like the script here. And yes, Barbie fits in the front too, in case you're wondering. And same thing with the rear. You also have those hidden sensors. So you just put your hand there like that, and then it opens. And you have 122 liters back here. So it's a little bit more than the Lexus LC500 convertible, which only has, I think, 96 liters. And if we go inside, I like the fact that on the seats, Porsche used good quality foam. So you get minimal creasing in this area, which will keep the seats looking good over the years. And just very nice materials overall. You have this nice stitching, soft touch materials on the door panels, and of course the Porsche crest on the headrests. Nice touch that I really like. So this Boxster has a strange windshield washer system. I think the pump is too strong, so what ends up happening is the fluid foams up, and you can see there's a big mess here after you use it. All over the paintwork, on the sides of the windshield, even the roof. So never use the washer system with the top down, okay? But the good thing is that with the wipers, you can lift the arms up anytime you want. You don't have to put it in service mode or anything like that, so it's one less thing to learn. And the headlight washers are useless too. You can see here, it just squirts twice, and again, it creates a white foamy mess, and the fluid gets all over the front fenders there, and you have to wipe it off if the car is clean, and it gets on the windshield and even gets on the sides too. So it's a very bad design. And this is not a Porsche thing, it's a German vehicle thing. So the wheels get dirty very quickly. It's because of the brake pad material. So just something to keep in mind. And some two-seaters will have additional space behind the seats for storing things, but you can see there's very, very little space and no compartments. So here are my final thoughts on this Porsche 718 Boxster Style Edition. So it's certainly a unique looking vehicle, and it's going to be the final model year where it's going to come in a gas-only powertrain. So, you know, for driving purists who really like the sound, the vibrations, the frenetic nature of the classic Porsche, you know, going electric is going to be a really different feeling because it's probably going to be really, really quiet. It'll probably be faster, but it's not going to have that same driving experience. So you should go for this 2024, or maybe get one slightly used. That way, if you're not sold on electric vehicles yet, you can still get this vehicle now. But we really, really enjoyed it. We highly recommend it. When we drove the Cayman 4.0 last year, that vehicle stole our hearts too because of how well it handled and how well it accelerated. And this vehicle is no different, especially in a manual transmission. And if you don't mind driving manual transmission, this is the transmission to get. So thank you very much for taking time to watch this video. I hope this review helped. Please keep following, I'll be reviewing more vehicles later this year.